back. It's back. Yeah. So, if you see my previous video, I already explained what happened to David B's info globe, and mistakes were done, and that's fine. You know, stuff like that happens. But we're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it right, because now we got all of our information, and still waiting for the official code so we can get this project rolling. So, in the time that all this has been happening, of course, David, he tried to play with this thing, and at the time things were not set up correctly, so it's kind of a good thing that nothing worked because good chances we would have blown the information IR that transmits the signal to the rotating arm, because it's got the wrong resistor in it. So, like I mentioned, I didn't do my homework because I was just following the guidelines. So I stuck a 50 ohm resistor in it, and I should have done my homework because the IR LED is only about 1.2 volts max at tops, you might as well say, in that range, and I should have had a over 220 for a minimum resistor value in the system. So we got a 50, we're going to change it to a 220 or whatever closest one I got. And then, in the meantime, while we're trying to troubleshoot the issues of coding and getting stuff into the card and the programming Arduino here, I told David to sever the wires. I says, cut them, because I need to know what is going on. And that's the only problem when you got stuff doing remotely. So the card is cut. But we got the wires intact, so I can just patch them. So that's not a problem. And we got to change the... all the coding is for D2, so we're going to put it on D2, so it's just the straight. What do we do now? So that's just one less problem in the coding department, because it's all written up for whatever reason D2, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. It is what it is. So it's back. You know, and like I said, unfortunately, when it got there, it would not spin up. So I've already tested this because I had to tell David that, yeah, it showed up here intact and it still spins. But just to show you guys that it spins, I'm going to repower this back up. And then we're going to open it up because I want to show you guys a little treat inside of some awesome soldering that took place to get the motor to spin on David's end. So this is one of the motors that's pretty much knackered. So if it takes too hard of a jolt, it's going to jam, and that's just the way this particular beast is going to behave. So it spins up, but obviously it's not going to display any data because there's nothing to display, because the IR that talks to the arm doesn't have a voice box, so it's not going to talk. So, that being said, since this thing has already been opened about 500 times, it doesn't take much to open one, especially when you got a broken tab. And it's been open a couple of times. So, we got a dust bunny. that came home to me. But at least all my LEDs work. I do know that. So take the arm off. Because we don't want to get the have the arm damaged, because I work so hard trying to get it back together to a working state, and I've successfully done that. So we'll get that off to the safe haven somewhere, and now we'll open up the bottom. I'll be right back. Alrighty, we're back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, blah, blah. I gotta get some more of them magnets. I just happened to find that one. So things like sucks everything up. Oh my God. So like I was saying, he had to take the motor out, and I told him, I says, you got to take the motor out, because it was jammed at the time. I said, you got to take the motor out. You're going to have to pop the PCB out, but you're going to have to desolder the wires so that you can have enough wiggle room to jockey this thing, because you got to get underneath this this silver cover to tinker. So when he reassembled it, I don't know. See if I can get this in. Can you see that glob? I think you can. Wow. That's horrendous. Oh my God.
Not bad, not bad. Now you.
So that's what I was horrified to hear about, is when he reassembled it. So we're gonna have to clean that up in the next step here, and then put all the wires back together. So we'll do that, and then clean that mess up. So we'll do that right now. So that is fixed. So I was disturbed because the neighbor, a couple of houses up, that used to live next door, she's always got some kind of weird project going on where she always needs a piece of wood cut. So I seen her coming up the driveway. She was starting to holler and all that other stuff. So I cut the piece of wood for her, and now she's on her way. On her way back home. She's on her way back home because all her family members tell her, you got to stop doing all these little weird projects because the doctor told you not to be doing this kind of physical labor because you're just hurting yourself more than you already are. You know, so she's in her, I don't know, 80 years old or something like that, and she's got all, she's full of arthritis and stuff like that. So she's got her days that she's good, she's bad, and blah blah blah. And I mean, she was so bad at one time that she's got a trigger finger. I mean, her one finger, I don't know, almost for a full year straight, her finger was literally like that. Like, it was either her pointer finger or her middle finger or something like that. It was literally like this all year long. I mean, can you imagine trying to conduct daily processes of life when you got one finger that just curled right over? You can't straighten it. You can't even force it because of the pain. So we'll clean this mess up. And it is thoroughly a mess. Wow. That is some nasty solder. Or solder. I can actually almost pick it off. Ooh-wee. That was nasty. That was nasty. So I clean off that big old gobber. So that one right there at the end of my fingertip. That's where all the volcanic eruption took place. So now we'll just put a little fresh spot. Fresh spot. And then get my tweezers that I dropped on the floor. Looks a little better. So we'll verify that it still works. So plug them in. Motor still spins. So that's nice. Now we'll just hook the Arduino back together. So we gotta cut this off. And yeah, I think that'll be okay. That'll be okay, I think. If not, we'll figure something out. Okay, got the holes open back up, which is always fun on a through hole. Trying to desolder them, but make these like stainless steel little pins that you can stick in and blow them out. So that is that. Now we gotta strip the wires. See what the hell I'm doing? Probably not. So we got our 5 volts. Then we got our ground. And then D2. Okay. We got that. It'll still fit in there. Now our next step is to, because one of the biggest issues we had is that the Arduino board was doing weird things, and I discovered that both the positive and the negative line, power line coming out or before the buck converter needs a diode. So we're going to just use if I can find it again. Let's see, 200, 620. Here's one. So we're going to use a 20 volt, 1 amp IN5817 Schottky diode on the power and the ground to eliminate any backfeeding, because that's what's happening when you're programming it. When you got the USB cable connected to the Arduino chip, is that it's actually powering the motor up, and it's powering the whole system. So the code will go in, but you can't get the thing to talk back to the uploading program. So we'll do that. So just like I, mentioned, it's going on the power line. So the power lines are right here. So there's going to be a diode on the red one and a diode on the black one. Okay. So we got our diodes in. Now for the last step, we got to change the resistor for the LED. So we'll go to our resistors. Get these resistors packs and diodes and stuff from Amazon. So we got a 1K, got a 1 ohm. We're looking for 220. There's 220. And I'm going to put a wire resistor in instead of the surface mount. I could put the same surface mount in it, but it's a lot of fussing around. And we'll put that in. And we'll give it the classic reach around. So we'll form this. Okay, that's that. So now we got all the mistakes fixed. So now we got our 220 ohm resistor to our ground side of our LED, and we have our diodes in. And we repaired the, put the board back on. So now we're going to see if this thing will accept the code. So I need to get a USB cable. That's a cluster. So get one from down here. We got an LED. So now we got to set up this silly thing and make sure that everything is happy. We got the ESP8266, blah blah blah. Port. USB serial, that looks okay. So now we'll see if it'll upload. So while it's doing that, in other news, of course, if you follow my channel, you would probably already seen my YouTube short how I found the unicorn of info globes, the true tricolor. And old David, he just happened to stumble upon one on eBay, and it was a true tricolor. It was a unicorn, because he wanted one after he seen mine. Well, things didn't go very well, because a big bidding war erupted. So the thing started out at I think $33, something like that, and then it just went stupid, and the final price for a second-hand info globe was $135. $135 plus another probably 13 some odd dollars for shipping, plus whoever the buyer was, you know, he has to pay his local tax. So he probably paid over $1.50 for a tricolor, and that's just the way it just happened to turn out. Because David, he'd been wanting one, and I look from time to time to see when they pop up, and I know they pop up from time to time. I says to him that because he asked me, I says, how many times do they creep up from, you know, on eBay? I says they turn up from at random times. You just have to do, you pretty much have to do a daily search on them, to catch them. So for mine was a buy it now or make an offer. So when I got mine, I told the guy, I says, this thing is the outside globe in the case, the base of it, it's pretty, it looked like it's got road rash, and the globe is all scratched and scuffed and stuff like that. I says, I want it just for the guts, because I'll put it in a better housing when I come across one. So he rejected my offer. I says, I'll give you $20 for it. He was asking $40 for it. So he rejected it. So I says, okay, well, I'll wait. I'll see how long it sits there. So I think I waited like 10 days. I contacted him again. I says, my final offer, $25, and now they're $1 more. I says, if you don't accept it, I'll just let it rot. It can rot on your site and never sell. Boom. I got it. It lives up here now. So it's up there. So I can verify who's calling this household, because we got people here that like to delete the call history. So on the main phone, a couple of buttons, you can delete the phone log. And I know the phone rings a couple times a day. So it's kind of odd when you come home and there's nothing on the call log. And yet, you know, for me, I can go on Spectrum and see who, on the website, to see who called, you know, but I got the info globe. So I got the tricolor. along with many other color of info globes, single colors, I says I might as well put them to work. So I did. So he sits up there with the time. He's hooked up to the phone, and he's got a couple of little messages on there that says, I think it says Rolling TARDIS on there, and I think it says subscribe and comment. I got. So probably one of them weird things I'm going to do is have it down here one day, and just have it being videoed, and just have the uh, channel name, and then subscribe, and then comment, and just have it like, because you know how I got that little drop down that goes boom, it goes, thanks for watching YouTube, blah blah blah, now subscribe, and blah blah blah. So that's what I'm going to do with that in time. So it looks like we successfully uploaded to the card here. So now we're going to put this back together and see if we can get a broken message, because I did this on one of mine, just to verify that this craziness works, and it does. So we're going to do it right here. Let's see if it works. And we're all waiting for another guy to give us a real good code, so that we can quit playing around with this silly broken code crap. Because one key element to this whole craziness here is the timing. So I would assume that this is probably going to be a unique thing for each info globe, that you're going to have to probably hook it up to an oscilloscope and see what it's doing, and then time it accordingly with the coding. So it's just matter of looking at the scope, and I got a scope here. It's one of these little mini DSOs. It's a portable little battery operated oscilloscope. And you don't need much of a scope to figure it out. And I have no idea how to use that thing. So for me, it would be a learning process to figure out what the hell it's doing. So we got that, and now we'll put this back together. Because like I said, we're waiting for another coder to finish up his details, and then give us the code so that we can tinker. Well, other than me, they can tinker. Because I have no idea what I'm doing with coding, and it was a big frustration just to get mine to do something. And eventually, when we got the thing that accepts some code and displays something, then we can say, okay, it works now. So these little boards, they can only go on one way. And put that back together. Because this is what David was hoping for when it was first here, that we have the code all ready to go or something, and then do this crazy wackiness. And then have it here on camera, all live, saying, okay, now it works. Now we just wait. Big hurry up and wait. So that's that. Now I'll just plug her in and see if she does anything. There we go. Nice. So that's all we can do for today. Just have to wait for the real code to come. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.